Welcome back to our channel. This is Coach Gene of Drafting Lifestyle, and today we're going to continue where we stopped last time, which we talked about roof framing plan. Now, ang kasunod ng roof framing plan is already the details of trusses. So, of course, you know the importance of a roof in our house. It is used to protect us from heat of the sun and of course the rain that could also get inside the structure. So, kailangan, yan ang main purpose niya. But, if you're going to expound that idea, if you're going to design the roof, it adds details and as well as it also adds beauty to your house. So, definitely, it could go or it could add more beauty sa isang structure. Now, if you're going to look for the roof truss details, trusses is what we call the truss, is a material that is important in a roof plan. It is built up frame used on unsupported long span roof system. It is designed with series of triangles or off triangles to stiffer the structure and distribute the roof load and to stay rigid and with flexibility and strength. Trusses used in a building construction, there are two types. We have the light trusses, which is we have here series of trusses here: pitch, hoe, scissor, raised, saw, and so on. The second one is what we call the heavy trusses, includes the following, which are used for industrial buildings, and they are as follows. We have also hoe trusses, Belgian, pink truss, Pratt, and so on. So these are the samples of what we call mga industrialized na trusses na ginagamit. But for us, in a most simplest way, since this is used for beginners, for our early learners of drafting, so ang pinakasimple lang naman natin ang gagawin is simply following the most simple truss that we have for our house or structure. So let's go back to our AutoCAD work here. If you still remember, this is our AutoCAD roof framing plan. Of course, we have the gable, the hip, and the shed roofing. So we are going to apply this, what we call the roof framing plan, for what we call hip. So ang una natin gagawin ang kailangan is to have the truss 1. So kailangan natin ang basis ng elevation, the height of the roof, so that your plan for trusses would be reliable and valid para kunin ang mga exact details and data para sa inyong structure ng bahay. Okay, so what you're going to do when you're going to start with roof, what we call truss details, all you have to do is look for your front elevation. So, etong front elevation natin. So, I'm going to copy this one. Now, if you do not have details of this or wala pa kayong, if you're going to start it from scratch, all you have to do is simply, kailangan nyo muna ng what we call the you have to start it from scratch, from line. Now, the same thing with manual design, you're going to draft this one based on a manual style. Pero of course, iba ang mga commands na gagamitin ninyo based on your roof design. So, I'm going to remove some unimportant lines here para mas madali ko siyang magawa. Now, I'm going to create lines and then separate this part here. And then, I'm going to remove that is unnecessary sa ating design. So, I'm going to remove this one. Ito dito. Ito dito. So, and then, I'm going to remove everything here. Okay. So, after nito, I'm going to hide ito. I'm going to hide this object because mamaya kailangan pa natin siya. Now, all I have to do is remove unimportant lines here na hindi kailangan sa ating drawing. Okay. So, then after this, I'm going to remove these lines too, and ito, and this one. So, I'm going to leave the outline of our drawings here. So, now that we already have the data for the roofing natin, I'm going to create lines here, start drafting lines for my work. So, I'm going to choose, again, 0 as my default line. But if you have another layer for this one, for draft line, you may also use the same. Okay, so unahin ko lang to. And then, this one part here. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to copy so that I have my reference sa aking poste. So, copy na lang to siya so that I will have the reference of my column sa isang structure. Kasi mamaya papakita natin pa yan siya sa detail. Now, after here, we already set this one. I'm going to create an offset of 0.075. Now, there are different kinds of what we call materials that you're going to use. So, commonly, there are two types that are kind of material na meron tayo sa industry ngayon. So, sikat dati was the use of wood, kasi wood was the most available and material that we have in our city. So ngayon, in the most recent days, ginagamit talaga is the what we call the metal, kasi siya ang pinaka cheapest material na meron tayo ngayon sa available sa ating market. Okay, so after natin dito, okay, so I'm going to have it here. So this is the ceiling line here. I'm going to offset about here, about dito. Okay, so since already have this one ceiling, offset ako ng 0.05 going upward, then mark these lines here, extend, then offset ako ng 0.8 or I'm sorry 0.2. So this reference of 8-inch na thickness ng what we call the bottom chord. Now, if you do not want 0.8 or what we call 0.2, which is 8-inch, well, you can also use 0.15. So I'm going to type 0.15 or 2x6 wood or 2x6 metal. So I'm going to have it offset by 0.15 and then choose this line going upward so that we can already place the bottom chord. Then afterwards here, let's start working with the top chord. So, okay, I'm going to type 0.1 or 4-inch ng top chord na gagamitin natin dito. So, I'm going to create line in the middle. Okay. Now, depending on material that you are going to work, let's just work here kung anong material na pwede natin gamitin. Okay, so for example, let's use the most basic. You could say you could use metal or you could use wood. Okay, so let's try to just lay it out first kung ano-ano man kailangan natin. Then afterwards, we proceed with the details of each part. Now, once we already have the top chord, the bottom chord, it's time for us to drop yung ating what we call the web members. Let's try first to drop yung pinakauna, which is the king post. Multi-line, enter. I'm going to choose 0.1, enter, and then going to position here or offset ng ml s 0.05, I'm sorry 0.1, enter. Click na dito siya dito so that we already have the king post. Now after natin sa king post, now it's time for us to place the position of the queen and the web member. So offset tayo ng 1 meter. Ideally for queen post or web members, they are spaced at 1 meter. So if you want to have 1.5, depending on the approval of the engineer, if sinabi ng engineer pwede na to, that would also be the same. Okay, so it's up for the engineers or for you to start with that. Okay, so offset tayo ng, now it's up for you also if you want to place the web members on the middle. Okay, so depende kung ganun pa rin ang gusto ninyo. Okay, so same here to here. Ang importante na ilalagay na natin ang parts. Now, always remember, when you're going to drop details, sometimes it takes time because of course, yung, because we are talking more about on details. Okay, so, ML pa rin ako. From this point, I'm going to point it somewhere here. We are already starting to draft yung ating mga details for trusses. Then later, we are going to explode everything here so that we could trim most of these lines. Okay, so if you want to add more here, pwede, pero if you want to stop here, so I'm going to erase this one para ito na lang maiwan sa loob. Okay, so after natin dito, okay, so it's after we're done here, we are going to have to explode everything on the inside. So highlight everything here and then press explode. So trim natin yung mga parts na to. Okay, so trim and then extend if you must. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bit fast forward here so that it would not take too much time sa ating draft dito.
You're some kind of butterfly, baby. You give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're gentle and weak.
Okay, so now we are done with the positions or trimming everything in our tinatawag nating web members and quid post. It's time for us also to add for the purlins. Okay, remember, if you're going to have the bases here sa ating roof framing plan, the distance of purlins is at 0.60. So I'm going to first create an offset here of 0.1 on both sides. So 0.1 muna tayo dito. Okay, so always remember, basis natin dito is the truss detail. So here, if we're going to have measured this one distance papunta rito, that's 0.1. So it is the same. Then afterwards, proceeding tayo ng 0.60 on both sides. So this is the distance of the what we call the tinatawag natin na distance ng position ng purlins. Now there are two materials that you can use again. It's either you can use metal or you can use wood. Now sa metal, we have the rect tube. Okay, rectangular tube as part of the, you can also use, sometimes we could also use as a metal yung C purlins. Okay, you can also drop that one C purlins or you could download it from the internet na marami talaga. So for now, let's try to use wood. I'm going to type rec here, 0.05 tab 0.075 because this is a 2x3 material na ginagamit natin. So I'm going to move this one. So before we proceed, I'm going to mark this line with an X mark. Okay, highlight this one if you want to layer this right away with fine lines. Now if you want to convert this into blocks, should I say, kung gusto nyo gawin siyang block para one drawing na lang siya kaagad, you may also start with that. So I'm going to type here wood purlins. Okay, purlins. Then if you want naman, kung ayaw nyong gawing blocks, you may also choose where you prefer most para mas madali ang inyong trabaho. Okay, so here I'm going to move this one somewhere here. Now I'm going to rotate this one, this purlins that I had, rotate. So click and drag lang and I'm going to choose it somewhere here. So if you wish to move this on center, you may also do the same because they are on the center. Now after natin dito, no, you could already start working with the offset of 0.6. So 0.6 both distance. So you just have to place the positions ng 0.6 ng inyong trusses or ng inyong purlins sa along the trusses that it lies. Okay, so and then mamaya may 0.05 pa tayo dito. So what you are going to do here simply is to copy this one and place them on their most strategic, what we call, position. Kasi sa detail ng roof framing plan ninyo, nandoon to siya. Okay? So here, here, and then I'm going to copy one spare somewhere here. Okay. So mamaya dadagdagan pa natin ng isa yan dyan. Okay, so what we are going to do now is to do the same sa kabila. Some you could use mirror. Let's try to use mirror if para mas madali siya. Okay, mirror, MI, enter, click and drag, then press or just click no. And therefore, you already have your opposite side ng inyong what we call the side of this other side of the trusses. Okay, so I'm going to erase yung mga lines na hindi natin kailangan so that yung trabaho naman natin mas maintindihan natin, kasi along the way, if you're going to let this line stay on your work, mas mahirapan kayo maintindihan ng inyong drawing. So they are just served as a guide. Okay, so hindi ko muna tinanggal ito kasi mamaya gagamitin pa natin siya for basis of our what we call the position or the placement of dimension. So after dito, I'm going to offset ng 0.01 dito. Okay, and then I'm going to create lines somewhere here as an effective covering. Do the same here. Dito. Then I'm going to extend both these two lines here. Then ito rin. Okay. Now, once you're done, it's either you trim, pero ang ginagawa ko, just drag this line somewhere here. Because I'm going to trim itong drawing na to mamaya. Okay, so trim natin to siya. And this becomes our ridge roll. Okay? So this is the ridge that we are going to use, or the covering between the two trusses or the two roofing material that is placed on the roofing. Okay. So after dito, let's add some more details here. Okay, so dito, I'm going to have it. Okay, click here. Then, going to remove this part here. Okay, so this is the top chord. I'm going to do the same sa kabila. Always remember, when you're going to work with structural details, consulting your engineer is the most appropriate move. Okay? Before you finalize everything. Kasi they are the most expert, should I say, in the field of structural detail. Huwag natin silang kalimutan. Also, if you're a student, always ask the guidance of your instructor before you're going to proceed. Now, this is what we call the bottom chord. So, if this is wood, it must have at least two bottom chords attached together. Okay, so dito ilalagay ko lang to siya for our details. Trim for our details. Then, if you want to add color plate here, dito sa taas, for example, I'm going to type 0.075 tab at least at 0.15, enter. Or if you want, you can use 0.20 or 0.30. So, rect tayo ulit ng 0.075 tab at least 0.3, and this becomes our collar plate dito sa taas, which holds the trusses dito sa miking post. Okay, so move dito. If you want to move it upward to make it more center, you already have this one dito as the part ng collar plate. Now, some they don't add collar plate. It's up to you. No, remember, always consult your engineer. Okay, so once we're done here, it's time for us to start layering. So I'm going to layer first yung ating top chord, which we are going to specify siya ang pinaka-center ng ating drawing. So I'm going to match everything here para maging dahan-dahan na tayo matapos. Then afterwards, details na lang ang kailangan natin so that we could already place it on this position. Okay. After natin dito, you could also copy this one, and I'm going to place it somewhere here as where the trusses lies. Okay? So, kung saan ang end ng roof ng ating roofing material. Now, if the engineer say, hindi na kailangan kasi masyado ng maliit ang span, you may also do the same. So, depende yan kung sa approval ng engineer ninyo. Okay, then after dito, I'm going to make this as a hidden line. Since wood is our reference sa ating design. So, depende ha kung kailangan yung metal. I'm going to show you later sample of a metal, what we call a metal roofing or truss detail na meron tayo. Then after dito, I'm going to proceed further. Okay. Then, since this is a distance of 0.2, I'm going to type here rec 0.2 tab 0.25 for our beam. Okay, move natin to siya somewhere here. Then, we are going to trim this part. Then, I'm going to hatch this one. Say, for example, move. Hatch muna natin ito siya. Hatch. Okay, this is our beam. And then, will be our next topic for our technical design. Okay, so I'm going to change the scale. Let's say, for example, 0.7. Ito naman, 0.5. Pwede. Kasi we are going to scale this up, itong roof framing plan natin. So, 0.3. Okay, pwede na to. But later, if you need to adjust the scale, kapag i-scale na natin siya sa higher scaling, you may also do the same. So, I'm going to move this one or layer it right away with a fine line layer. So, highlight. Move this one here as a reference ng ating what we call the beam. So, copy on these three parts. Okay. Copy on the three parts. So, yung iba, just trim yung hindi importanteng linya na hindi kailangan sa ating work. Okay. Make sure that along the way, you have to trim lines para mas maging understandable ang ating drawing at hindi rin kayo malito. Common talaga sa amin dito sa AutoCAD works namin. So, sabi ng mga bata, "Sir, hindi ko na maintindihan ang drawing ko." So that's why you have to trim along the way. So also, you have to remember, okay, position of your what we call the fascia board. So offset ng 0.025 somewhere here. I'm going to extend it a little bit outwards. Palabas for our. Okay, if either you can offset it going inwards, you may do so also the same. So if you want going inside, I'm going to adjust this one. I'm going to erase this. Offset 0.025, which is 1 inch. Okay, line. Then line. Trim. Okay, and then line din ulit tayo. Papunta rito, then papunta rito. So after nito, no, you could already place yung inyong ceiling joist. How? Why? Because this is already attached to the ceiling. Now, where do you are going to get the basis? Always remember, once you are going to talk about the ceiling, you're going to get the basis sa reflected ceiling plan ninyo. The distance it at 0.60 na naman ng 2x2 wood. Okay? So, as the basis. So, here, I'm going to create a rectangular object. I'm going to type 0.05 dot 0.05, which is 2x2 material, and then create an X mark here as a reference of the wood symbol that is being cut out. Okay, so highlight, fine lines. Okay, then after dito, you're going to have it. If you want again to create this as block, okay, ceiling joist, pwede din. So copy, place it here. So copy at 0.60. So if you want also, you in the other parts, other engineers, if hindi talaga siya 0.60, you could divide the area into two. So this is 1.2, this is 1 meter. You could place this one somewhere in between ng 0.5 here, and then another part nandito na naman siya. Copy to the opposite side. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this one here, turn this into fine lines. Okay, now dito I'm going to make this line as a whole for our top chord, and I'm going to layer this one right away with our wall. Okay, this is most expressive line. Now dito naman sa ating gutter, if you want, you can also already set this detail on 2.01. Spacing the gutter right away. Okay. Now, Also, you have to not to forget, no, when you're going to have gutter like this one, you have to provide also details para dito. Okay, so if you want ml s 0.05, then click here, then papunta rito, F8, click, then papunta rito. If you want to use radius, okay, if you want to create later, so isa-isahin lang natin. So dito, ml, click lang muna natin to siya. Somewhere here. Then erase ml for our downspout pipe. Then later, i-edit na lang natin lahat yan siya sa ating AutoCAD. Okay, so explode everything here because I'm going to just copy this one. Okay, F. Okay, so here, F din, trim. Okay, if this is your detail sa inyong work sa AutoCAD, no, or sa downspout, it's okay. Yep. Okay, just copy the same if you need to. Okay, so trim lang natin siya as a representation ng inyong downspout pipe going there sa kabila. Okay, so here, once you're done, you're just going to do the same dito sa kabila. Okay, so copy, erase this one, erase din dito. Okay, so ito, erase natin siya. Then, what I'm going to do is simply copy everything like this one. Copy. Para hindi na tayo magtagal sa ating detail. So, copy na dito siya. Sorry. Let's highlight this one. Ito. Ito. And then I'm going to highlight itong truss na to. I'm sorry, the beam. Copy. Onto the side. And then I'm going to place it a mirror. MI. Enter. Click na lang. Replace. If you want to place, yes, pwede. So, I'm going to move this one. Or should I say, okay, move. Enter. Just as reference point dito. Then I'm going to place it somewhere here para sa ating detail. Click. So we already have this one. All you have to do is simply to trim the excess dito. Then you already have your downspout. Now, in our AutoCAD works, if you're going to look at here, there are some parts that you have to put into details. For example, mga ditong details na to, so you have to put this such as detail of dimension of gutter. Then you also have to place downspout detail. Okay? So pwede yan siya gawin dito soon as when you are going to finalize everything in your work. So for now, let's just focus on the design, sa basic design ng isang truss detail. Okay, so let's go back here. Now it's time for us to layer everything right away. So, meron pa tayong nakalimutan dito. Copy. And I'm going to place it here. So, this one, copy. At 0.60. 0.6. Okay. So, all you have to do is do the same. Copy at 0.6. So, here. Here. Okay, copy. Now again, this is a basic ceiling, ha. Then I'll do the same sa kabila because they have the same dimension. So copy. place them on the opposite side. Then, I'm going to layer right away yung fine line natin, yung ceiling, and yung iba pang mga details na kailangan para madali ng ating work. Remember, it takes time when you're going to work with details. It takes too much time. You could add or you could also improve the design of your gutter. Remember, there are so many fixtures and for gutters sa ating internet. You could just download, especially yung mga connections such as yung mga elbows, 90 degree. Meron din tayong mga T-joints. But again, I did this because for basic purposes only. But if you are already in advance, you may do so. Okay? Ito. Match. To match this one here. Ito. Okay. So if you need to trim dito, you may also do the same. As a representation that this is a color plate. So may nakita tayo dito na hindi pa tapos na ng layer. Let's layer this one. And then this one. Okay, so we are almost done with our truss detail. All you have to do is what's remaining is you have to add the details of this one. So I'm going to add circles here. Or meron kasing iba, they are using bolts. So circle 0.01, and then I'm going to layer this one right away with fine lines. Okay, so copy. Now, if you want to add this detail, since this is wood, pwede din siya. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Remember, consult your engineer. Pag sinabi ng engineer ay hindi na kailangan yan, pako na lang. You may also do the same. Okay, kasi siya ang nag-decide sa lahat ng structural details na meron kayo sa inyong bahay. Okay, so dito 1, 2, 3, and then all I have to do is simply copy this drawing, copy, and I'm going to press F8 para straight siya ang position. Then dito, and so on. So all that is remaining, ito dito sa taas. So I'm going to move, turn on the F8 dito, copy, copy. Okay, so now that we are already done with the details, no, I'm going to highlight it right away and then set the scale into 1:30. Now, always remember, what did you observe when you're going to have details? It's always when you're going to show the details, it's always bigger when it talks about details. Okay, so what should you do is simply highlight your work. Okay, move this drawing. I'm going to move this drawing somewhere here, and then I'm going to highlight, type SC, enter, click nyo lang yung line, type here 100/30. Okay, so it becomes more bigger compared nung unang nating design. So I'm sorry, so I will not erase that line, so I'm going to erase this part here. So all I have to do is set my dimensions into 1:30. D, enter. If meron na tayong 1:30 dito, maganda. So we don't have 1:30. So I'm going to click yung 100 and then type new 1 space 30 meters. Continue. So once nandito na tayo, primary units, all you have to do is 2 decimal digit. Then I'm going to increase the scale factor or going to decrease it 0.3. Then after dito, I'm going to increase the text size. Say for example about 0.25. The arrows naman natin dito, so I'm going to increase this into siguro 0.4. Okay, pwede. So I'm going to leave yung iba. This is outside. So I'm going to leave the other measurements or values into as it is. So yun lang pinalitan ko. So click OK, and then I'm going to set 1:30, set current, and then close. Okay. Ngayon, let's try to indicate the dimensions. DLI. Galing sa edge na to. papunta rito, click and drag going upwards. 4.20, which is this is the measurement na binigay natin. So DCO, I'm going to set here, gitna, 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 and then to the last. Okay, so all you have to do is simply do the same. So I'm going to give the measurement starting here sa ating ceiling, click, going the most upward natin dito 1.5. Then I'm going to have this, the DAL, do you still remember the dimension angular? Okay, dim ang, okay, so dim angular again, or you could just click here, dim angular, or dim align pala. It should be dim aligned. Then going to click it somewhere here to provide the details ng sloping span ninyo. Okay, so then we already have the distance of 4.19 yung distance niya. Now to add more specific detail, so I'm going to have this one, DLI, papunta rito sa lower, papunta rito 0.25, then DCO to the upper. Okay, then you already have the 1.25, which is already the details of your roof framing plan, or I'm sorry, the truss details. Okay, so all you have to do is simply layer everything and add some information. Okay, dito I'm going to place this one as dimension. All you have to do is to match. Okay, I'm going to move this somewhere on the details ng structural. Remember, roof framing plan or truss details is all part of the structural drawing. I'm going to move it somewhere here, or sa may roof framing plan na lang dito. Then I'm going to copy this one dito sa baba. Then I'm going to type this one as truss details 1. Okay, why 1? Because we only design yung truss 1. We have to design again truss 2, truss 3, and rafter 1. So which means when you're going to work with truss details, kung ilang trusses na nakalagay sa inyong roof framing plan, yun din ang number of trusses na kailangan yung i-detail sa inyong work. Okay, kasi importante to kasi para ipakita sa mga worksman or gagawa ng bahay ninyo or gagawa ng construction yung details ng bawat part ng bahay. So if you feel like itong truss details title is too small, you can scale this one. Okay? Okay, so if you want to scale this one, then I'm going to change this one because this is already on 1:30. So move. I'm going to adjust this one here. Move the drawing dito. And then all you have to do is simply by placing yung inyong mga details. So MLD, let's try to check if sakto ba talaga ang MLD natin dito. F8. Kung okay lang ang size ng text. I could also adjust right away yung text natin into 0.25. Okay, so I'm going to type here 2 of 2x6, either metal ba, since this is wood, 2x6 wood bottom chord. Okay, then remaining MLD ulit tayo. I'm going to type here 1 2x4 top wood pa rin, top chord. Okay, then click lang sa labas. Okay, if you want to edit the text height, you may do so 0.25. Or mamaya, if you want, you can just match these drawings, these two lines for text sa ibang mga details ninyo. So, remaining, MLD pa rin tayo. So, for example, this one, if you'd like to place this one, Spanish gutter. Okay, then if you want 2" then percent D, sorry, diameter, 2" diameter, percent C diameter, down spout pipe. Okay, then add more details here. This is what we call queen post. So ito, web members. So this is MLD also. Sometimes they just categorize this one into web members lahat. So king post lang ginagawa nila. So this one, queen post 1. Oh, okay. So 2 by 4 queen post. Okay, then you would also do the same dito. I'm going to adjust the text going upward para mag-cash siya. MLD, click lang dito. Then I'm going to type 2 by 4 king post. Then if you want to match this text right away, or if you want, you have to 1 by 1 edit this one. Meron din tayong settings dito para madali ang inyong text height. So if you want to increase this, or hindi na kayo mag-edit ng text, okay, ML leader style. Okay, dito natin siya i-edit. Okay, new or modify. Text height is at 0.25. So, okay. Set current or close. So, MLD na lang tayo. Ito naman, should I say, ito. Okay. So, I'm going to type this one as 2 by 2 wood purlins. Then, here, MLD also, 1/4 inch, or sometimes we ginagamit natin 3/16 or hardiplex na lang, 3.55 millimeter FISM board. Okay, then ito naman MLD 2 by 2 ceiling joist. Okay, so all you have to do is just to place everything here, yung mga details na nandito sa atin, just like with other details that we created before. So ito, so match lang natin yung iba. Okay, if you need to increase the size, kasi kanina nasa 0.25, this is 0.25 already. This is 0.25. Okay. Then what's remaining? All you have to do is just to label everything here. So for example, MLD, this is 0.25 or 1 by 8 or 1 by 8 or 1 by 9 wood purlins or 1 by 10. Now this is very technical sa mga materials but I'm sorry, this is wood fascia board. Okay, so this is very technical. All you have to do is just to identify yung mga parts niya. Okay, then text. So the remaining is, should I say, itong mga parts na to, ito MLD, then here, okay, 2x4 web members. Okay, so we are already done with our work dito. Okay, so if you need to add more some details here, you may do so. But again, always can ask the engineer kung ilan ang ideal or the most ideal design. I have also other designs here sa mga shed roofing. So just like this one, ito ang mga half trusses na ginawa namin dati. So this is scaled on 1:50 only because this is a very big drawing and very big design. Okay, so ito ang truss detail 1 because we applied shed roofing. We also have here other details such as rafters. Meron din iba dito design which is rafter design talaga siya. Okay, which is nakaupo na siya kaagad sa hollow blocks. And then we have here rafter 3 details, and then yung flat roofing system, and then so on. So that's how you are going to work with what we call roof, which is the truss details. Okay, so roofing structural details. So once you're done, if you want to plot it right away, so siguro A3. Okay, since A3 tayo, and let's try to have it on A3. Okay, hanapin natin yung truss details na nasa baba. Okay, doon. Always remember, nasa scale ng 10:1 tayo. Okay. So, sakto lang siya sa isang A3 paper. So, once you are done, you can either plot this drawing right away. So, let's try to plot this one. If you have your printer, you may do so. But if you want to put this on PDF file para ma-print kahit saan, you may also do the same. So let's check if it monochrome. Preview natin. Okay, this is the actual design for your roof or what you call the truss details. Okay, so after natin dito, see if you're done, skip lang natin. Then if you want, you may already press OK. Then say for example, this is truss details 1. So let's stop. Save. Now, again, let's try also to look at this at monochrome. So, plot natin siya. I'm sorry, in AutoCAD way. So, apply, preview. Okay, so it is already appeared sa ating design dito. So, skip natin siya. So, let's press OK din ulit. Then, truss details 1 AutoCAD form. AutoCAD. Okay, then so on and so forth. Okay, so this is how you are going to work with roof design, or specifically we call the truss details. So always remember, you have to ask your engineer about the strength. If in case the students pa lang tayo, you ask your teacher or ask the advice of your teacher if correct na ba ang distance ng bawat isa ng inyong design. Okay? So again, if you have ideas that I could share with our students, please, you may also do so that we could improve our work that could address the learning needs of my drafting students. Thank you. This is Coach Jean of Drafting Lifestyle, and mabuhay po tayong lahat. Hanggang sa susunod po na tutorial natin. Salamat!